Humans, the most complex of the animal kingdom and the prime of creation, are composed of many body systems that miraculously work together to form a highly functioning, brilliant, and communal animal. Body systems and complete organisms include the excretory, digestive, respiratory, endocrine, immune, nervous, reproductive, and skeletal. The first time an organized system is seen in an animal is in the worms, specifically the phyla Annelida. The surface area to volume ratio in flatworms is so small that they can rely on osmosis to get nutrients and release waste. But annelids have a larger ratio, and thus they need body systems to help perform functions. For example, Nemertea worms do not have respiratory systems because the oxygen exchange happens in the surface of their skin because there is small surface area to volume ratio. Annelid worms have gills and hemoglobin to carry oxygen into the blood from their respiratory system to their circulatory system.
Simpler organisms are constantly close to their environment, thus they don't need excretory systems like complex animals do. Flatworms have special excretory cells called flame cells that have cilia and propel waste out and into excretory canals that connect, forming excretory tubules from which the fluid leaves. Complex animals need an excretory system to remove waste from their bodies. Cnidarians have an ectoderm or outer tissue layer and an endoderm or inner tissue layer between the mesoglia, or a goopy gel in the middle, similar to Platyhelminthes or flatworms who have the same setup as cnidarians but have mesoderm instead of a mesoglia that is much thicker. As animals grow in complexity, it faces two main problems. The organs are stuck in the mesoderm so it can't move as easily, and it is difficult for materials to move from the gut to the inner wall. As a result, the solution is a coelom, in which the body organs lie bathed in body fluid. Movement of the body wall would not squeeze the organs. Organs could grow without being pressed by the body wall, and the diffusion of nutrients waste would be easier. The two types of body cavities, or coeloms, are a pseudocoelom and a true coelom. Annelids have a coelom and an excretory system that contains nephridia. The nephridia have tunnels lined with cilia that lead to a tubule like that in flatworms. The tubule absorbs useful nutrients, for example, glucose, amino acids, and salts, and then leads to a primitive bladder. The metabolic waste then goes to the bladder and then is discharged. Fluid transport in complex animals is called a circulatory system because blood and nutrients are transferred in a circuit. Organs called hearts in most animals start the flow within the circuit. Fluid travels through arteries, which carry the blood away from the heart, and veins, which carry blood towards the heart. Capillaries act as connectors between the two. Annelid circulatory systems are much less complex, consisting of blood, channels, and 5 small hearts. Gases are attached to the hemoglobin within the blood. In annelids such as earthworms, the circulatory system consists of blood channels and 5 pulsating vessels that function as hearts, rushing blood through the vessels to all the earthworm's body parts. Gases bind to hemoglobin in the blood, which is responsible for the transport of all oxygen in animals, both simple and complex.